Nzinga was an African queen who had a harem of 50 men. She ruled the kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba in what is now Angola in the 17th century. She was a fierce warrior, a cunning diplomat, and a defiant leader who resisted the Portuguese colonial invasion and the slave trade. Angola is a country in southwestern Africa, bordered by Namibia, Zambia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and the Atlantic Ocean. It has a population of about 32 million people who belong to various ethnic groups and speak different languages. The largest and most dominant group is the Ovambundu, who live in the Central Highlands. The second largest group is the Mbundu, who live in the northwestern region. The third largest group is the Bakongo, who live in the northern region. Angola has a troubled history marked by violence and oppression. It was colonized by Portugal in the 16th century, who exploited its natural resources and enslaved its people. It suffered from human rights violation, corruption, poverty, famine, disease, landmines, and displacement. One of the most inspiring figures in Angola's history is Queen Nzinga. She was born around 1583 into the royal family of Ndongo, one of the Mbundu kingdoms. Nzinga had a difficult birth. The umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck. This was seen as a sign that she would be a powerful and proud person. Nzinga grew in a turbulent time for her kingdom. The Portuguese arrived in Angola in the late 15th century looking for gold and slaves. They soon established forts and settlements along the coast and started to interfere with Ndongo's affairs. They demanded tribute from Ndongo's rulers in exchange for protection from other enemies. They also supported rival kingdoms that wanted to overthrow Ndongo's rule. Nzinga's father died in 1617, and her brother Mbondi became the new king. He was weak and unpopular, and he couldn't stop the Portuguese from invading Ndongo. He also killed many of his rivals, including Nzinga's son and husband. Nzinga escaped to Matamba, another Mbundu kingdom that was allied with Ndongo. In 1622, Nzinga returned to Ndongo as an ambassador to negotiate with the Portuguese governor João Carreira de Souza. She met him in Luanda, the capital of Angola. She impressed him with her eloquence and dignity. She refused to sit on a mat on the floor as the Portuguese expected her to do so. Instead, she ordered one of her servants to kneel on the ground and act as her chair. She also demanded that the Portuguese recognize Ndongo's sovereignty and stop the slave trade. The negotiations were successful, and Nzinga converted to Christianity as a sign of goodwill. She was baptized as Ana de Souza after the governor's wife. She also married a Portuguese officer named Francisco de Silva. She hoped that these gestures would secure peace and friendship between Ndongo and Portugal. However, her hopes were soon dashed. The Portuguese didn't keep their promises, and they continued to attack Ndongo and enslave its people. They also supported Mbondi's enemies, who tried to overthrow him. Mbondi died in 1624, possibly by suicide or murder. Nzinga claimed the throne as a successor, but she faced opposition from her brother Ngola Hari, who had the support of the Portuguese. Nzinga fled to Matamba again, where she became the queen in 1631. She reorganized the kingdom's army and economy, and she made alliances with other African kingdoms and Dutch traders. She also welcomed runaway slaves and refugees from Ndongo who joined her forces. She fought against the Portuguese for decades using guerrilla tactics and diplomacy. She also reclaimed her African identity and religion and renounced Christianity. Nzinga was known for having a harem of 15 men who were her personal guards and lovers. She made them dress as women and carry her weapons. She also made them fight each other to death for her amusement. She didn't marry any of them, but she did have children with some of them. She treated them as her slaves, not as her partners. Nzinga died in 1663 at the age of 80. She was buried with full honors in Matamba. She left behind a legacy of resistance and independence that inspired many generations of Angolans. She's regarded as one of the greatest African leaders and one of the most powerful women in history. Thank you all for watching this video, and don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about this topic. See you next time, and bye for now.